Steve Iavarone will face off against John Gorman now. John's the higher seeded bowler and has decided to bowl first.
John
we know
Gorman.
how you feel about that.
Known for the 1987 Masters, I guess. 86?
Right.
87, I was right the first time.
Which he came back from the living dead in that match.
You want to play
54, 55 pins down and halfway through.
Yep. To get a play-by-play of that, I guess you just have to talk to Wes O'Donnell. That was the poor guy that was sitting in the seat that...
he didn't actually end up bowling a bad game. He was in the 160s.
Yeah.
Just that what John Gorman did was almost indescribable.
Look at this. Got it.
Oh, jeez.
You hit a guy enough times, he'll go down, right?
That's part of the duckpin magic.
That's the most excitement we've seen in a while, Mike. Steve started the last game with a strike on lane 2. John Gorman, of course, we saw started with 10.
Well, breaks 9. If you weren't with us the first time that Steve was on Duckpin Magic just a couple of weeks ago, he is a home care respiratory therapist out of North Providence, Rhode Island. And he missed the single.
How he started last game. Broke 9, he missed the number 4 pin last frame. Or last game. 29 after 2 frames for Steve Iavarone.
So John Gorman will step back in. Didn't get a chance to tell you he's from East Granby, Connecticut. His current average 144, highest sanctioned 3-game set 547, high single 226. And as Joe mentioned, will always go down as the man that won the most incredible comeback in duckpin competition, overcoming a 56 pin disadvantage and going on to win it in the fashion that he did win it as well.
Made 3 or 4 splits in a row, then threw a 4-bagger, didn't he?
Yep.
While we were looking for something else to talk about because the match was all but over, and then along came John.
John also is a candlepin bowler with a current average of 129.
He bowls candlepins?
Yep.
There you see the middle, 1-5. Good grief. Where you bowl candlepins in this area, Mike, you know?
Southern Mass, I think.
Think he goes all the way to Southern Mass? Oh, wow.
East Granby is up near there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's close to the Massachusetts border, outside the Hartford area.
I guess so. Hartford's not that far from Mass.
No.
That's a big average.
Yeah, and John is also a big fanatic when it comes to demolition derby racing. In fact, that's where his nickname of Crash comes from. Unlike your episodes with guardrails and that.
Yeah, right.
Well, Steve
broke up this chop, left
yep.
to 310. John Gorman opened frames 1, 2, and 3 with 27 in the third. Steve Iavarone 29 in the second, shooting the 310, frame 3.
Well, shot where he was aiming. And
twice.
Proved that he could do it again.
Yes. It's a little discouraging to a bowler because when we do that, we feel like we miss by a mile. You know it when you let go of it, and it's really pretty close.
37-27, a 10-pin advantage for Steve Iavarone over John Gorman. Men's Duckpin Pro Tour.
Good grief. Mike, I'm kind of lost for words. Maybe we ought to give these headsets to a couple other people who could say something different, but I guarantee any Pro Tour bowler that's in this bowling center watching is saying, I wish I were bowling right now. This can't
maybe
be.
Not.
Or maybe not, right.
Say, I'm glad I'm not out there.
I hope I'm not around when it breaks, eh?
I don't know what they're doing wrong, but I don't want to be out there trying to find out.
Well,
John will step back in and see what he can do here. John's yet to find a mark.
There's been a little bit of everything, some sort of errantly thrown balls. There's been some misses, but there's been so many middles, it's almost incredible. And you take 2-3 middles a game, and you can't bowl a good game. They're having trouble backing marks up. They make one and open, make one and open, and it's just...
there's one for John as breaks the ice. Winner of this match will go on to face Lou Sarkeesian. I'd say anything in terms of the final five-some. I'd say he's a surprise to be there. There's a break and a strike.
2 in a row, a spare and a strike, and we're back to even here.
And we had to get a little extra help to get the 5 out of there.
We've had 7
matches. Fair play, right? Steve had one of those, and now John Gorman cashes in one on his half of the 5th inning.
7 matches, 14 games of bowling. 9 of them have been under 130. And that's just incredible. And as we mentioned, we had very good qualifying scores here with 30 bowlers averaging close to 150 to get this far. All right, we're on a roll, Mike. 3 marks in a row, 2 for John Gorman, and Steve Iavarone jumped up frame number 5. Both bowlers 57 plus. Steve with a spare, John with a strike. It's amazing how it's contagious, both good and bad bowling. Poor scores have sure been prevalent over the past few weeks.
10
wow.
In the bed in a hurry there.
I'll say.
Well, we went spare strike for John Gorman. Steve Iavarone gets up and throws spare strike.
Steve not in a big hurry to relinquish the lead. Something new to side, 3-9. Couldn't even get lucky working on a strike. It's a big ball, Mike. Shot it safe and didn't even get away with that. 6 count. There's the 1, 4, 6, and 7 remaining. Gonna try to hit the front one, and he did, and that's all he got.
$70 after 6 for John. 77 for Steve Iavarone. Plus 2 balls coming up because he's working on a strike.
John's gonna make something happen. It's not to be. Bowlers really appear to be just waiting for the pins to fall for them. No one has really gotten aggressive and stayed aggressive. Very tough to explain, Mike. Very difficult to explain. A 7 pin for a 10. We got that. And that gives him 80 in the 7th frame. And Steve Iavarone with an opportunity to open up a big lead. And he's looking to go on and face Lou Sarkeesian. Lou, this much easier style bowler, one of our, I guess we could say, elder statesmen of the Pro Tour. Just a gentleman that says, when I talk to him, he says, I just keep plugging along. ball here for Steve Iavarone, a 3-6.
Yep.
Almost picked it.
Yep.
Squeezed the 2 of them off for a spare.
Does count. He's got 3 in a row now.
And a 17+ lead with 3 frames to go. That's been a pretty safe lead, as you see on the screen, our Duckpin Magic scoreboard. It's been a real safe lead over the last couple weeks. The bowlers just have not been able to turn things around. Got away with it, pulled it off to the left. Has the 1-7, not an easy spare, but certainly a good count. Increase his lead to 25 pins with 3 frames to go. So if he goes blank, John Gorman would have to mark 3 times, and we haven't seen that happen but 1 time recently, and that's been Steve the last 3 frames. Spare, strike, spare. Tough shot. There's a lot of distance between the 1 and the 7.
Yeah.
Going for 10.
Trying to pick up the 10 and
15. John takes a glance back at the score.
Yeah, he really needs to put up a couple of marks, preferably strikes here, to climb back into this match. Trailing by 25. And looking to advance.
Okay.
He's got it.
1 in a row. 90-115. John Gorman with a spare in the 8th frame.
Plus he'll be counting on this ball here, and obviously would like to tighten things up.
Got to have a mark.
Yep.
Mike. Got to have a mark.
There, how about that kind of a
A
mark?
little touch. Cuts the lead to 15 with a strike in the 9th frame. Steve Iavarone will bowl both frames.
John Gorman trying to come back in this match. Well, that certainly will help him a little.
Hold all tickets, Mike. We have to keep finding a way to turn them into close games. He's really got to be a little careful here and just, I think, shoot 3 and then shoot 2. He throws the ball powerful enough to get it up out of the corner. See what? Oh, they come out of the corner, gave him the 3 on the right side, the 3-6-10. He'll be shooting a 4-7. If he marks, hits these 2 marks and counts in frame number 10, he'll put John Gorman on a double. Without a mark in the 10th frame, John Gorman would only have to mark. So there you see it. It's sort of up to Steve Iavarone. A mark would put John on a double. Without a mark, John needs a mark, a spare, a strike, some type of mark.
Yeah, let's see what
Came
Steve
down to the
Iavarone
end,
does in the 10th frame here. Oof. Leaves the 7-pin standing.
Looked like he sort of widened his angle a little bit that time, brought it in from the outside a little bit. Wanted to stay off the middle. We knocked the middle out so many times over the last games.
Does make you a little gun shy to try to put it up there, and he missed it there. So John Gorman will have his opportunity here.
He sure will. We've seen him take advantage of these situations before. If you remember, Wes O'Donnell missed a single, which seemed that it didn't matter at the time because his lead was so big. And boy, John just turned the motor on. He needs a mark. When you need a mark, you'd like to throw a strike.
Now let's see what happens. John Gorman can control his own fate in this match and move on to face Luz Sarkeesian, or he can go home. Simple as that. It's up to him. Yeah, it's a double.
Well, that was a little easier to throw than had Steve made the mark, and it would have been a must. Steve sort of shaking his head. He let one get away. John Gorman stay behind the line, hit a couple pins, like 3, and the match is over.
It's walking. I don't know.
It's too far back.
Yeah.
I don't believe it'll reach it. John Gorman, Lou Sarkeesian, final match of this show.
Yeah. John Gorman shows us that comeback form once again.
Fighting for the rights to come back next week and bowl Ken Palmer, our third seed. Larry Alley, seeded number 2. And Bob Ditzel. You pronounce it Ditzel, Mike?
Dietzel, yep.
Ditzel.
So that's it. 149-134. It's John Gorman by 15 over Steve Iavarone, and we'll be back to watch our third and final match today on Duckpin Magic right after this.